still a little early, but
Well,
we said about 12:30, so.
we can just start because the people can watch it after.
Hey everyone, so we're live here at the Renaissance Festival with Sir Theodore. He's the host.
For this, I'd be considered the Lord Marshal.
The Lord Marshal. So I don't want to cross paths. Anyways, it was a great show yesterday. They're doing it again. They're just getting ready. Right behind us, we have all the horses.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any questions you want to ask, I can't really see the questions right now.
Well, I can. A few comments are rolling in. They're
Rolling
saying,
in.
"Good morning, hi
early.
everyone."
Just barely.
Barely morning, yeah, but still quite early, eh?
Yeah.
This said, "How are you feeling?"
What do you guys have some new horses? You only do two just in case one gets injured, or?
Not in case the horse gets injured, but I mean, like to give them breaks as well.
Right, so
Plus, we have multiple different guys, so again, different personalities of guys get along with different personalities of horses, so they've trained with each other. So it's more a matter of that camaraderie and the ability of them working together like a team. That's really what it is out there. It's not just two guys; it's a team of a guy and a horse and a guy and a horse against each other.
Perfect. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, yesterday I was watching. They all look so cute. I was like getting so emotional watching them.
Huge. They're vicious warriors.
Yeah. Keep questions. So for you, those who are joining us, we're at the Renaissance Festival with Sir Theodore. And how tall are you? Good morning. Do we have any questions about the Renaissance Festival? What's happening and what's going on here? We got the horses in the background.
Yeah, I keep missing them.
Hey, Sir Pinky Sore, I got this stuff you gotta take to the stores too, okay?
Why?
Say Theodore, it's really Pinky Sore.
Pinky Sore?
Yeah, Sir Pinky Sore.
Someone said I've been to the Run Fest several times here in Minnesota. You've been there, right?
Minnesota, no, that's actually not one we've done. We have done many across the states, Ohio, some out in California, Florida, Alabama, Montana. But yeah, no, I haven't done to Minnesota. We haven't done that. Our group does do that one. I believe that would be what they call a theatrical troupe. It's more stunt work and staged show, whereas what we do is the actual jousting where we actually hit each other, wearing full over 100 pounds of steel armor, hitting center with solid pieces of wood.
And how much pressure is each hit?
I calculated out it's roughly close to 5,000 pounds per square inch.
5,000 pounds. It's
So
crazy.
It's kind of like a car crash.
Oh, I really want to watch the.
What we
The
watched
the
yesterday
jousting
again.
again?
Jousting, yeah. So the first joust here today will be at 1 o'clock, and we'll have 2 of them today. So.
Dude. Hopefully nobody gets knocked off again. No knights get knocked off.
Well, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, that's the point, but
they're
it
trying to
hurts.
do that. And it does hurt.
It does, eh?
So, yeah, no, that's part of the scoring structure. They get 10 points if they knock the other guy off.
Right on.
Do like the horses like ever get hurt when you guys do this?
It's exceptionally rare.
Okay.
A large part of how we've developed our style and what we do, right down to how big our field is, the list, which is the roped off area that we joust in, as well as how long our lances are, is very specific to the point of actually for the safety of the horses. Everything that happens behind their heads, so they're already past the impact, past everything. If a lance breaks, it's going to be back behind them. And then, of course, we have the ground crew on the ground, and the first thing they do, literally their first instinct in training is once the knights are finished passing, they run in the field and start grabbing any kind of pieces at all.
Yeah, so
And
the
keep it
horses don't
completely
step on
clear.
it.
Yeah, so it's a setup that, is mostly intentionally to keep the horses safe, and then the guys secondarily safe, maybe.
All right.
So, how much of one of those lances cost?
If you consider all the gear and everything together, you're probably looking at about $70, $80 is the value of each lance.
All right.
Then mind you, that's going up these days because the wood gets it's getting more expensive.
Everything's expensive, yeah.
And our intention is to break them. So I mean, we're buying gear to break it.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's a good story, eh? Any questions, Andrew?
There was one someone said, how many horses are there, like, specifically for the event?
This one here, we have 5 horses with us for this event. We have had upwards of at least a dozen or more. at some events, depending on how many jousters there are. We have had full tournaments where there are 8 competitors on the field at the same time, then going at each other in elimination rounds, down to, you know, again, just a 2-man competition, just one-offs for demonstration purposes for a smaller show.
All right.
Someone said, how can someone who has never been to Renfest get involved going to one and not feel left out?
Anybody can come. It's not just people who get dressed up in costumes. I mean, people work here, we're all be in costumes and whatnot, but you have just your average person come out. It's just like coming out to a county fair or, provincial fair. I mean, it's just, you're coming out to have a good time. There's shows and food and other things happening, archery that you can try out and do, like things like that. So really it's just, if you have a slight interest and you would just want to come see something different, everybody's welcome.
Yeah. It's a fun thing.
No, yeah, I see like everybody's like outfits and everything they're wearing.
Yeah, but not everybody wears them. I just see there's
Yeah.
people who come with their kids and they're just in their Sunday joggers or whatever. And but yeah, we're in costumes, but that's because we're working here. We're the ones that are supposed to be representing in the era and showing you stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Nobody's left out.
This is the first time. What have you gone? And
I've gone to something in the medieval times in Toronto. This is the first time I've been around one like
this
this.
is my first time coming. Like,
Yeah, I know you don't have to get dressed up to come. That's not a mandatory thing at all.
no, like it's super fun. Like just being here.
Oh, exactly.
I think I'll come again, even if I wasn't working it.
Yeah. So why is that horse isolated by himself?
He's getting a newer horse, and again, unfortunately, they are herd. So herd mentality, right? The other guys are usually with each other all the time, so they're very close, together. And he's newer, so it's an acclimation process because he's not a part of their herd yet. And so just instead of letting them just fight it out, especially in such small confines, it's better just to kind of give him his own penthouse suite, and then the rest of them can
At least they can
leave him alone for a little while, and then once we can get much better situation or place with some larger space where just let them be horses in a larger paddock, then they might chase them around, but they'll all eventually come to their own understanding and figure out their hierarchy again, so that then they'll have that herd ability.
Right on.
someone asked, how often do they have to practice the jousting? Does he work with horses for a living?
Well, this is my living.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's what they were wondering.
But as far as practice, I mean, again, there's a lot going on. After this, actually, we are going to a farm. That's where they'll be doing is training and practice for mostly for some newer guys, and also as we're working on some of the newer horses to get them learning and understand and being better at doing what we do. But again, some of us who have been doing it a long time, in all honesty, something like this is practice to me. I mean, we practice by doing a lot of times because you can't really mimic what happens in a joust without actually doing a joust. So you can do up to a certain point, but then eventually you just have to actually do it. And I'll be honest, it's really kind of sucks to do it with nobody watching.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
The audience gives you the guys that
Because
emotion,
when
right?
you're going, exactly, they give you energy, and when you're going at each other, we're literally kind of beating the crap out of each other. To do that for nobody is kind of doesn't feel as good. You want to have that energy of the people like going, oh wow, that was awesome, and helps make you feel better about doing it.
So when you guys practice, do you guys actually use the wooden poles, or do you guys use them like a plastic?
No, we still use the wind poles. What we would do with things, devices we call quintains. That's the technical name for them. They're just apparatuses. One's like almost like a half-body dummy that sits up on the thing with springs and stuff attached to it, and you're supposed to hit the target and basically hit it and knock it down.
Okay, so you guys don't actually run at each other then practice?
No. So it's basically, well, we do and we don't. We don't go do hits.
Okay.
The reason being, you want to do that just because it also helps with the horses, because it's not natural for them to do that normally, so you have to train them to see that guy in armor clanking and making noise, and just run and do passes. Plus, it's also good for the guys to get that idea of feeling comfortable doing that. And then what we do is, we use the apparatuses to basically hit and get the striking, the targeting down, so that way, because we want our guys to be as accurate as possible When we joust, there's a target grid that we put on our chests, and that's what you have to hit. It's about the size of a license plate. And you're looking through only a 1/4 inch slit in a helmet to get it, while on a moving horse. So it adds a little bit of difficulty. But if you, because it's a grid, there are different squares. And what we want our guys to be is good enough they can pick which square they're going to hit. Myself and our coach have gotten to an ability where most of the time when we're up in good practice, we can pretty much knock a toonie out of somebody's hands with the end of the lance without touching them.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that's the accuracy that we expect out of our guys.
Wow.
So many people are like, OMG, I see the horses. Like, they're so very smart.
How
Everything.
old are your horses roughly back there?
Oh,
now?
they range, really range. Steele's probably our youngest, the big gray one, which you wouldn't expect because he's so big. He's only about 9, and then the rest of them kind of go up from there. I think the oldest one we have out in the field here might be Superman, and I believe he is 16 or 17 at the point. But our oldest guy that we actually have, who's now retired, is back at the home farm. He's retired and just eating grass and being happy. But he is coming close to almost 30 years old.
Wow.
And he had been jousting for over 25 years straight. He still loves it. Sometimes he'll chase the trailer as we leave. It's like, you left me behind.
Aw. It's
So he likes doing it, but again, he's gotten old. We don't want to hurt him.
Yeah.
He's gotten to a point where he needs to not do it and just be happy and spend the rest of his life just being a happy old guy.
Yeah. Someone asked, Sierra Larson said, how much do the horses weigh? And then someone else has asked, has he ever gotten seriously injured like you?
Myself?
Yeah.
It's a funny question. The horses, most of our horses are draft breed horses, so they're big. They tend to weigh close to 2,000 pounds a piece.
Wow.
Yeah, they have to be that big to work with us for what we're doing. Carrying us, and like myself, wearing a suit of armor, I'm the biggest guy in our sport with the biggest suit, and I'm over 500 pounds on top of the horse. So I need a big horse to be able to take that weight and be able to run with it.
And then get the motivation to
Right,
run.
and then it's from the hits, because that hit is such a huge impact. A smaller horse would actually get knocked over itself. It would fall over. These guys have the mass and the ability to kind of, power through that, and that's why actually they were the original horses for knights. It's in history. That's what they used to ride, was these things. Now, as far as injuries, how much time do you got? No, I have had a couple serious ones jousting. I have broken my collarbones. I've broken my leg. I've dislocated my right shoulder over 26 times.
Just from jousting.
Yes, from
Like, it-
jousting, yeah, and
Wow.
hitting the ground. And I've had 2 surgeries to repair that, but I keep going. It's a passion. And again, it's an extreme sport, most certainly. I mean, think of any others, motocross, whatever, this is an extreme sport. There is a high risk factor, a lot of danger it is for the guys too as well, to potentially get hurt. But again, it does take a certain passion to do any of those kind of sports.
A
So
lot, especially you're gonna get hit at.
right, there's not an
25.
if, there's no dodging in our sport.
No.
So you are going to get hit.
So now you're saying it's 2,500 per weigh, right? Each horse when they're
So
going.
yeah, if you add the knight, their armor, all the saddle and equipment, plus the horse's weight, it's close to 2,500 pounds on each side. Momentum coming at each other.
So now does that range between the weight of the horse and the weight of the person?
Yes, of course. Yeah. That's why I said it's close to, because it's to sit down, we'd have to literally find each things and each person and everything's weight, and then go, okay, how much is that all added together? So a rough estimate is about that. And then again, mass times acceleration, right?
Yeah, so
horses are running fast.
So the knights, are they like categorized, like so they're in almost like the same weight class almost? Or?
We don't have weight classes,
No.
and the reason for that is also we don't have gender classes. We have female jousters. In fact, you guys will see her around and about. She's wearing kind of a pink surcoat, but we have a female jouster who's with us. She's getting back in because she's been out of practice for a little while, but again, men and women can joust against each other, bigger, smaller. The thing is, when you add that huge horse, it kind of changes the dynamic a lot. Like standing face to face with somebody here, I'm a lot bigger guy. If I run at and shoulder check a smaller person, they're gonna they're gonna go down. I'm not gonna fall, but them hitting me, right? But you put a 2,000-pound horse under us, and that changes that percentage a lot. And then there's also the other skills of the balance on the horse, because if you're not balanced correctly, a tiny little person can take off a huge man because they're not sitting properly. You just knock them the right way and they're off balance, and that's a lot more weight to try to keep up there. So down they go and you win. So it's a lot of more skill involved in it. So which again takes away all that need for any kind of weight class. Or there are some guys that will complain and say, well, that guy's so big, blah blah blah. But
So it's all about
there's other, well, there is, and there's also balances in a sense. Yeah, as a big guy, generally speaking, I don't come off that often. Mind you, that's also skill. I've learned to sit, so I just get hit and I don't move. But unfortunately, with a smaller guy, they have more flexibility. I hit them, and they just kind of they just weeble wobble and come back up. So I don't knock them off, which angers me. But the other thing is, they hit me, and because I don't move, it just flexes their lance and breaks it. So they get that extra points for breaking their lance, and all I get is a hit because they hit and moved and deflected. So I only get 1 point. They get 5 points for the same hit.
So if it has 1 point to hit, 5 points to break, and then 10 to fall
10
off.
to hit the ground.
All right, well, we can start wrapping this up.
Yeah, we'll let Sir
all these
Theodore
boys
get
can
ready.
Get out there, and then if you're coming out to the joust, and then maybe if you can keep going, maybe you can give them a show of some of the hits and what we do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be making a huge
Oh, there you
YouTube
go.
video. I'm gonna post.
Perfect.
All right, well, I appreciate it, Sir Theodore.
Well,
thank
you very much,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to
And
meet you.
we'll see you out in the field.
All right, good luck,
See ya.
guys. Thank you. So there's some cool information. I just learned a lot. I didn't know all that information about weight classes.
You would have kept talking for hours if you could.
Oh, I would have, because it's cool. It's a cool thing to learn
Yeah.
about.
Well, I know we got some viewers from London, England. That was from Leanne. And I know, I love having you guys join our live streams. So,
I think he said the next one they're doing it in Peterborough, I think he said. And that's in 2 weeks, so.
yeah, my arm's very tired right now from holding this camera. I keep using my other hand to like hold it up.
I'm not that steady to hold the camera, guys.
So I'm just gonna end this live stream. I just wanna, this is like right the area of where they're gonna be doing the show, like in front of that building over there. So, yeah, thank you all for coming, joining, and
I hope you guys learned some information, because I sure did.
yeah, it's
Not
very
every-
windy as well. So,
Not every day you get to learn that information, so it's pretty cool.
yeah. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, it's not ending.